Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this video with my phone because I tried to make it like three other ways and I am super upset because it didn't work and I feel like the world is getting at me for some reason. Anyway, the point is I'm making a video on how to do those wood frames and I'm gonna list here the material that you need. I'm gonna show you how they look like and what was the process that we used to do that. So in terms of material, you need outer frames, inner frames. You need to do a design on paper, and then you need to decide exactly how you want your frames to look like. So as you can see, my frames have two big frames in the middle and smaller frames on the outside. The wall is 3.3 meter. And all the calculation, everything about this DIY is on my blog post, which I'm gonna list down below. And yeah, so that's it. Let's talk about how I came up with it. So first is to make a design on how you want the frames to look like on paper. I've decided to go, and I'm gonna use a metric, 5.5 centimeters above the dado rail, 5.5 under, 10 centimeters in between the frames, 2.5 centimeters between the outer and inner frame, and at the top 10 centimeter as well with the cornice coving. There you go. So those are the proportions that we kept. The two big frames have the same size and the two smaller frames have the same size as well. You can see that there's also the same frames underneath matching the top frames. So they're always matching the top frames. In terms of material, we needed Architrave wood, glue, nail gun, wood filler, primer for the wood, and paint for the wood as well. So you can see that I've used actually the same color as my wall. It has a different finish though, because this is for wood. It's a paint that is for wood, and the finish is, I believe, eggshell, which is a semi-sheen finish. So the wall is matte itself, but here, and you probably won't see it unless you're in the room or there's a light onto the wood frames, but it's a tiny bit shinier than the wall itself. Now, in terms of how we created the wood frames, we needed a saw, a wood saw, a Mitre Box to cut up the frames, and we needed I'm gonna put the word here, can't remember the word. It's like an angle ruler to make sure that the frames were square. Yeah, so how we've done it is that because this is a period property, the walls can be uneven sometimes. So we've secured the top frame. First I drew the design onto the frame with a pencil. And then after we put the frames. We started with the outer frames first, so we did all the outer frame first. And actually I wasn't sure if I wanted to do inner and outer frames because most of the designs that I came across about wood panels had only outer frames, the big frames. But I've made a design decision that I wanted to have a bigger frame and a smaller frame inside. And I'm really happy I've done it because I feel like it looks very nice. Yes, so where was I? Yeah, so we've started with the one at the top. So we've glued it, put it on the wall with the glue on it. Then we took the other piece of wood on the side, glued it as well, and with an angle ruler we made sure that there was an angle at the top, if you see what I mean. And based on that we nailed the top one. Actually the top one you can nail it before, anyway. The second one we nailed it once it had that 90 degree, and we left the bottom unnailed. You'll understand why in a second. Then we did the other side 90 degree again, and we nailed at the top. It's obviously glued as well, so we glue it and then we nail. So we glue it first because you can play around a little bit once it is glued. So this is glued and nailed. The top is glue and nailed, the top is glue and nailed, and then you have those sort of sides that stick out a little bit. And you do the same, so you take the last piece, the bottom piece, and you make sure there's a 90 degree angle here, and you do the same for the other side. And when there's a 90 degree here and it's glued and onto the wall, then you nail it, and that will secure the frame. So effectively you're done at that point, because you know that there's a 90 angle here at the top and all the corners, and it's all good. Any unevenness will be you know, you can play around until it's glued, so you can sort of play around if it's a little uneven on the walls because of it being a period property, and walls are uneven as just a thing that comes with a period property. Then after, you may have some space between, you know, the wood and the wall itself. That can happen again if it's uneven walls, that can happen. So what you do is you use wood filler, and you probably don't see it so much, but we've used wood filler absolutely everywhere so that they look even more integrated, so there's no gap effectively between the wood panel and the wall. So you use wood filler, then you wait that it dries, you sand it, and then the wood frame is ready for paint. So this is the basic how we've done it. Yes. And once you've done all the outer frames, we've decided to go again and do the inner frames. In terms of time, it took us 5 days to do. I apologize, I'm not showing my face because it's not the point of this video. But the point of this video is the information. If you like this type of comments, this type of content, you can see my frustration. You can see that I've done this video a few times. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post content about home decoration and home styling, home DIY, etc. So feel free to subscribe. And I've also got an accent because I am from France and English is not my native language. Yeah, so here are the panels, and I absolutely adore them. I'm also on Instagram if you want to see other pictures of the house. My Instagram is my mindful home. Yeah, just that, just my mindful home. You'll find me. Alright, I hope you liked this video, and I wish you good luck with your wood paneling project. I'm so happy I've done mine. We've done one wall in the living room, and we're probably gonna do the other walls too. It's just that that was a huge amount of work, and I wasn't ready to have no living room for more than a week. Alright, have a good time. Bye.